Have you ever wondered how much it actually costs to start up a short-term rental business? Is it a few $1,000s, tens of thousands of dollars, six figures? Stick around because today I'm going to break down everything from purchasing the property to furnishing it so you can start your STR journey on the right foot without breaking the bank. Let's talk about it. Starting a short-term rental business isn't just about picking it and listing it. It's about planning, budgeting, and maximizing your ROI. It's a competitive market now, so knowing your cost up front is going to make sure you buy the deal right before you even start, so you're not trying to play catch up. Let's break down the four main categories of big cost initially when starting up. Each of these will depend on your strategy and vary a little bit and could cost quite less or quite more, but this is an average property worth about $400,000 if you are buying the property and going to own it and operate it yourself, which is what I recommend. Buy it and self-manage it and use tools to help automate that self-managing. Acquisition costs are easily going to be your biggest charge up front. Here's what's involved. You have a down payment. This could be anywhere from 5% to 20% and above that. Now, most commonly, you're going to be paying between 15 to 25% most likely, but I can make a whole video about the differences between financing STRs, using an owner-occupied loan, using a second home loan, using a DSCR loan. There's a lot of options out there depending on your strategy. You could get something as low as 3.5% if you're living on one side of a duplex or you live in the property for the first year. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to do a deep dive on the financing options for STRs, and I'll be paying attention to see what type of content you really want to learn. So on a $400,000 property, you're in for about $80,000 just for the down payment. You're going to have closing costs as well. This is going to be lender fees, title fees, upfront taxes, and a few other things that are associated with it. You can estimate to pay between 2 to 5% of that total price, probably coming in about the $10,000 ballpark. Now, if you're buying something turnkey, which is probably hard to get profitable in this type of STR market, then you're not going to have much renovation cost. But most likely the property that you get is going to need a little bit of work, and that usually ends up being a better deal. Light cosmetic fixes might cost between $5,000 to $10,000, but if you need major renovations, you're looking at $50,000 and way beyond. I tend to use these basic estimates of $10 to $25 per square foot if it's a light cosmetic, $20 to $40 per square foot if it's more of a medium cosmetic job, and then you're looking at $45 plus all the way up to 100 and whatever amount you can think of if you need major renovations to the project. Once you have it renovated, the next step is the furnishings and setup. You'll have furniture, you'll have utensils, you'll have supplies. A lot of things are going to go to play here, and you do not want to buy cheap on these things, especially the major things like big pieces of furniture, big appliances, and sheets and covers. Because if you buy cheap, you're most likely going to have to buy again because it will break and fall apart a lot easier. Just on furniture and utensils, including the kitchen, you're going to be looking to spend between $20,000 to $30,000 for a 2 to 3 bedroom property, and even $40,000 to $70,000 for a 4 to 5 bedroom property. You can save some money by finding high-end furniture in resale shops or even Facebook Marketplace. You'll be surprised at some of the great furniture that people are just donating or giving away for very cheap for a numerous amount of reasons. But again, though, do not buy cheap, and if you have to, buy new for a lot of the main things. If your property needs new appliances, that's probably going to run you between $3,000 to $7,000, depending on how high end and how many appliances you're actually having to put in. After that, you'll have decor and other small essentials. You're going to be looking to spend between $2,000 to $5,000, and even way higher if you have a theme for your property. The last major touch is the amenities you add. You may not have to put in many amenities, but if you are in the amenities arms race with all the other STRs in the area, you're probably going to be looking at least baseline $10,000 and can go up vastly depending on how luxury or how big your property is into the $30,000 or $40,000 range, and even 60 or 70 if you're very high end luxury. I mean, you really could spend endless amount on amenities, so there's no cap here, but I would recommend you're going to spend at least $10,000 as the baseline level. If you're looking for a list of some of the things that you'll need in each place and maybe save a little money, I'll put a link to the biggerpockets furniture list below, and you can go search through a few things that you might need in your property as you're setting it up. And now you're going to have operating expenses start to come in, and you're going to need reserves to cover a lot of these before you even start making money. Obviously, the more money you make, the easier it is to pay these operating expenses. So if you don't have a profitable STR, you're going to be working backward. You're going to have your mortgage or your rent if you're trying to rental arbitrage a place. But for a $400,000 property, let's just estimate you're going to be in the $2,000 to $3,000 range. After that, your utility costs are going to be one of the biggest things that you have. You can expect to pay between 5 to 10% of your revenue just on utilities like electric, internet, water, trash, sewage, things like that. You also will have cleaning fees that come in. Your guests do pay a lot of these, but there are going to be a lot of times that you have to overpay your cleaners or get deep cleans or different things like that you're going to have to come out of pocket on your own for that. I would expect to spend between $100 to $200 at least extra each month on additional things to cleaning and paying your cleaner for help in other areas that you couldn't get the guests to compensate for. We do have the biggerpockets STR calculator that shows a lot of expenses that are going to come up during your short-term rental journey. Let me know if you have any questions over it in the comments and I can help walk you through it. There's quite a few other expenses out there, but maintenance and breakage is going to be another big one that you have between an STR. You're probably going to be looking to spend at least 5 to 10% on this, hopefully not 15% if you're able to vet your guests properly going into it. And the last bit is just going to be some marketing and miscellaneous costs you get to set up your listing. You're going to need property photos. That's probably going to cost between $200 to $1,000 or $1,500 depending on how much marketing you actually want to do and how good the photographer is. You will also have some software tools that I recommend that you get. These are not 100% necessary, but they will make your life easier and help you make more money anyways. You're probably going to be looking to spend between $50 to $100 on just some simple software tools like a property management software like Hospitable, Price Labs for dynamic pricing, and a few other things that will make your life easier. You also need to probably get a permit depending on what area that you're in for your short-term rental. This could range anywhere from $250 to $500, and I've seen them as high as $750. So let's just do some quick math on how much this would actually cost to set up a $400,000 property if you were buying it. These are not exact numbers, so don't roast me in the comments saying I was $5,000 below. These are just estimates. But acquisition costs, you're looking at least $80,000. Furnishing and setup, you're looking at least $30,000. Your initial reserve and startup operating expenses, you're looking at least $20,000. And just to get some marketing and miscellaneous things going, you're looking at least another $2,000. 1 carry the 2 plus the 3 divided by pi equals the Pythagorean theorem. I'm just kidding. You're probably going to look at about $140,000 just to get this property up and running if it has nothing to it and you're needing to pay for the 20% down payment. It costs a lot to start up a short-term rental. Buying one that is furnished up front is a big key in this, especially if you're cash strapped, and then look into co-hosting if you don't have much experience or cash to begin with either. Join a property management company, learn under them, start your co-hosting journey. Stick with Bigger Stays and Bigger Pockets. We'll keep helping you along the way be the better host to make your short-term rental a long-term success. I just came up with that on the fly. It's pretty good. See y'all next time.